Starting at the front of the mat in Tadasana in mountain pose. Bring the feet together. Lift the arches in your feet and engage the quadriceps by lifting the knees up into the legs. Slight tuck under through the pelvis and really draw in below the navel. Press your feet into the mat to create length and lift through the spine. Relax the shoulders and extend all the way to the fingertips. We're going to start the practice with Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Keep the shoulders down as the palms connect, gaze up to your thumbs. Then exhale, fold forward. Keep soft through the knees, relax the neck. As you inhale, lengthen the spine forward. You can either take the hands to the shins or come to the fingertips. As you exhale, step or jump back to plank. Lower down through Chaturanga. Keep the elbows in, come to the belly. As you inhale, come into Cobra. Lift the chest, keep the shoulders back and down. Then exhale, use your core, back to Downward Dog. So a few breaths here in Downward Dog. And if you're not used to this posture, it can be fairly strong to start, but eventually it turns into quite a repeated posture. The body will build strength quite quickly, and this will become a resting posture. The feet are about hip width apart. Outer edges of the feet run parallel to the outer edges of the mat, and then keep the knees soft. Slightly bend the knees so you can lift and spread your sitting bones. Spread the fingers nice and wide, spread them evenly, and really let the head go so the back of the neck is long. Take deep breaths down to the belly. When you're ready, you're going to look forward to the front edge of the mat. Bend your knees, lift your sitting bones, step, walk or jump between the hands. Lengthen the spine forward, look forward, hands to the shins or come to the fingertips. As you exhale, fold, keep soft through the knees, relax the neck. Use the strength of the legs to come up. Press your feet, float your arms, palms connect, look up to the thumbs. Then exhale back to Tadasana. And again. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms connect, look up, keep the shoulders down. Exhale, fold forward, keep soft through the knees. Relax the neck. As you inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine forward, hands to the shins or come to the fingertips. Then exhale, step or jump back, lower down through Chaturanga. Inhale into Upward Dog or Cobra. Then exhale back to Downward Dog. Use your core. A few breaths here in Downward Dog. So again, keeping those knees soft so you can really lift and spread the sitting bones. Spread the fingers nice and wide, spread them evenly. Let the head go. Your focal point, your drishti, it's either between the feet, or if it's comfortable, you can start to shift the gaze up between the knees or the thighs. So it's almost like we're just gazing down the nose. The gaze is steady, the breath is steady, moving the breath down to the stomach. Keep the fingers spread. Find that external rotation through the shoulders and the upper arms as if you're going to wrap the armpits in towards each other around the front of the chest. When you're ready, look forward. Bend your knees, lift your sitting bones. Step, walk or jump between the hands. Lengthen the spine forward, look forward. And exhale, fold. Keep soft through the knees. Press your feet as you inhale, lift yourself up. Palms connect, look up, keep the shoulders down. Then exhale into Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms connect, look up. Exhale, fold forward, keep soft through the knees. Inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine forward to the fingertips or hands on the shins. And as you exhale, step or jump back to plank, lower down Chaturanga. Option to come to the belly, then into Cobra. Otherwise, just inhale into Upward Dog. Strong legs. Exhale, back to Downward Dog. Take a few breaths here. See if you can connect with your bandhas. So you have Mula Bandha. So it's like you pull up through the pelvic floor. And then you have Uddiyana Bandha. Draw in below the navel. It's almost like you're hollowing out the belly. Just give you a deep connection to the core, also really support the body. The bandha is a little elusive at times, at first, but after a while, you start to get used to them. So just keep practicing, keep coming back to the bandhas. I'll keep reminding you as well. few more breaths here. Keep the gaze steady. The breath is steady. Press the hands in. When you're ready, look forward. Take the right foot forward between the hands. Strengthen through the legs. And then sweep the arms up. We're going to come into crescent lunge. So the arms are right back next to the ears and the chest lifts up and forward. So it's like these two opposing forces. Chest lifts up and forward. Arms reach back next to the ears. And as you sink into that front knee, really draw that right hip back. You want to be able to see the big toe and maybe even the second toe on that right foot. So if you can't, draw that right knee out to the side a little. Press through the left heel and open out through the back of the left knee. When you're ready, take the weight forward into that right foot. Stretch the arms forward. Left leg will float up into Warrior 3. So that back leg, internally rotate it. Press through the heel so the toes will point down towards the earth. And make sure you're not locking the supporting leg out. So keep a little bend in that knee, keep the knee soft. When you're ready, bend the right knee, light as a feather. Step that left foot back, lift your spine, extend back up into your arms, coming back through crescent lunge. When you exhale, open out to Warrior 2. So if you look down at your feet, there's a heel to arch alignment. So if you're going to draw a line from your front heel, it will cut your back arch in half. There's a little bit of a tendency to lean forward into this posture. So reach back into that left hand. Rotate the chest a little towards the back hand. And your focal point, your drishti, is the middle finger of the front hand. So strong, steady gaze here. Again, connect with those bandhas, pull up through the pelvic floor, draw in below the navel. Start to straighten through the front leg. And then just wriggle that back foot in a little bit. It's going to be a heel to heel alignment here. The right hand will come down, the left arm will extend up. Just make sure you're not locking that bottom leg out, the right leg. Keep a little soft bend in the knee, but the leg is straight, so we just don't want to lock it out.
Hold your hands slightly.
Another option is to take the peace fingers around the big toe. Don't let this become the focal point. Your hand on the shin or on the knee is also fine here. Take your attention to your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And if you're struggling, again, just bring that right hand up the leg a little bit. Really anchor through the outer edge of the back foot. So lift the arch in that back foot. That back leg is solid. Make sure you're rooting down through the root of the big toe on that front foot.
Is a sculptural media, a luminous psychoplasma, a living.
Take the gaze down. Bend your right leg deeply. Right hand can come to the top of the mat. Left leg will float up. So if you're working with your balance, you're more than welcome to have both hands on the ground here. Otherwise, start to really open the body out. It's almost as if you're going to stack the left shoulder on top of the right shoulder, stacking the left hip on top of the right hip. That back leg is alive. Really lift it up nice and high. Extend all the way to the heel. Dorsiflex the foot. And if you're solid looking down, shift your gaze up to your top hand. Challenge yourself. When you're ready, slowly take the gaze back down. Bend the right knee deeply. Again, very lightly step that back foot back. Come back into your Warrior 2. Sink into the front knee. Taking the right elbow to the right knee, extend up through the top arm. It's a side angle pose here. Option to stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, take the right hand down to the inside of the right foot. And again, option to stay here. So just stay with where you're at. Otherwise you can bind. The right arm will come under the right leg. Left arm will drop behind. The right hand may be able to take the left wrist. Peel that top shoulder back and open. Really squeeze yourself into that right leg. If it's okay on the neck, you can look up. Otherwise, just looking forward or down is also fine. Look down. Release your hands to the inside of that right foot. Right foot can wriggle out to the right. Lift the back heel off the mat. And press through that back heel. Option to stay on the hands. If you're a little bit more open today, you can come down to the forearms. If you're halfway, I suggest you stay on your hands. You'll get a better stretch, better opening. And make sure you don't let the head hang here. Really keep the neck an extension of the spine. Deep breaths. Connecting again to those bandhas. When you're ready, come up to your hands. And just step slowly back to downward dog. Hang out here for a few breaths. Again, spreading the fingers nice and wide, keeping soft through the knees so you can really lift and spread the sitting bones. Engaging your bandhas, pulling up through the pelvic floor, drawing in below the navel, really letting the head go, connecting to that dristi, that focal point, either between the feet or up between the knees or the thighs. When you're ready, let's step the left foot forward between the hands. Use the strength of the legs to bring yourself all the way up to crescent lunge. Sink into the front knee, but draw back through the left hip. Slight tuck under through the pelvis, draw in below the navel. Chest lifts up and forward, arms reach back next to the ears. Press through the right heel, really open out through the back of the right knee. Take deep breaths here, deep breaths down to the belly. And then again, start to stretch the spine forward. We reach forward with the hands and take the weight forward into the left foot so the right leg can float up. Keep soft through the supporting leg. Press through the back heel, internally rotate that back leg so the toes point down towards the earth. And start to bend that left leg, lightly step back, come back into crescent lunge. And then exhale to open out to warrior two. Sink into the front knee, anchor down through the outer edge of the back foot. Lift the arch in the back foot. Slight tuck under through the pelvis, draw in below the navel. Rotate your chest towards the back hand so the shoulders square off to the long edge of the mat. Engage your bandhas. Start to straighten that front leg. And take the left hand down, right arm extends up. You can wriggle that back foot in a little. And then again, choosing your option. So you can either have the peace fingers around the big toes, you can either also have the hand on the shin or even up on the knee. And just make sure you're not really straining here. So you want to practice this balance between effort and surrender. Lean back into the posture, peel that top shoulder back and open, and if it's okay on your neck, look up to the top hand, otherwise just looking forward or down is also fine. Look down, bend your left knee, take the left hand to the top of the mat, back leg will float up. So again, option to have both hands on the mat if you're working with balance, otherwise just the left hand to the mat and see if you can come right up to the fingertips. If you're solid looking down, start to shift the gaze up. Really reach out in every direction. So you're pressing the left foot into the mat, really extending to the heel on that top leg, flexing the foot, opening the body out. And then make sure you're breathing, taking breaths to the belly. Start to shift the gaze down, bend your left knee deeply so you can lightly step the right foot back. Come back into your warrior two. And then take that left elbow to the left knee. Extend up through the right arm. Option to stay here. If you want to take it an extra step, you can take the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. And then again, option to stay here. Just stay with where you're at. Or you can take the left arm under, right arm behind the back. Really squeeze the arms away from the body. So it's almost like you're squeezing yourself into that left leg, peeling that top shoulder back and open. If it's okay on the neck, looking up. Keep anchoring through the outer edge of the back leg. That back leg is solid. Connect again with your bandhas. Breathe into the belly. Then take your gaze down, gently release the hands to the mat. Lift the back heel off the mat and wriggle your left foot out to the left. Option to stay here on the hands or come to the forearms. And again, you'll get a much better stretch here. If you're only halfway to the forearms, just stay on your hands and sink into the hips. Wherever you're at, keep the neck an extension of the spine. Press through the back heel. Take deep breaths into the belly. And when you're ready, come up to your hands if you're not already, and then slowly step back to downward dog. Stretch out here for a few breaths. Lift and spread the sitting bones and start to draw the heels a little bit closer towards the mat, but don't lock the legs out. So the legs extended out in front, feet are together. The hands come just behind the hips, fingers face forward. Engage the quadriceps. Spread the toes, pull them back towards the body. Really press the seat into the earth to lift your chest. Super strong and challenging posture this one. Full body is engaged. Keeping all that on, extend the arms up in front so they're parallel to the earth. Legs are still really switched on here. Keep the neck and shoulders soft. Keep the gaze steady. We're going to move into a little bit of core work. So tuck under through the pelvis, start to roll the spine towards the earth and stop halfway. The quadriceps are engaged. The toes are still spread and pulling back towards the body. Gaze is steady. A few breaths here. If you start to shake here, that's normal. Strengthening the nervous system. So just let that out. Make sure you're breathing. As slow as you can. Roll the spine down onto the earth. Take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, lift the legs up to 90 degrees, so the palms face down on the mat next to the hips. Press through the heels, and just like you were sitting before, the legs are really engaged here. Press to the heels, spread the toes, pull them back towards the body. When you're ready, you can extend the arms so they're parallel to the earth. Lift the shoulders up off the mat. So rest as much as you need to through this. If this hurts your neck at all, just interlace the fingers behind the back of the head. Lower the right foot down, press through the heel, and hold here, just for a few breaths. When you're ready, inhale right leg up, then exhale left leg down. Keep pressing through both the heels. Keep really squeezing the belly, so pressing the lower back into the earth. Keep breathing. Both legs extend back up to 90 degrees. Really reach to those fingertips. One more breath. Nice. When you're ready, you can start to lower the body down onto the earth. Keep the legs engaged, up to 90 degrees. Take a few breaths here. And then start to lower the legs. Just a little. Starting to work a little bit of a different part of the abdominals here. And if you feel this in your lower back at all, please just bend your knees or lift the legs up a little higher. Stage by stage, we're just going to lower the legs down towards the earth. So please look after your back. Lifting the legs back up whenever you need. Then again, lowering the legs down just a little. Holding here. Really make sure those quadriceps are engaged, pressing to the heels, spreading the toes, pulling them back towards the body. Maybe a little bit lower. Really pressing the lower back into the earth, so we don't want that curvature in the spine to lift the lower back up off the mat. Then start to lower the legs nice and slowly, all the way down to the earth. Turn the palms so they face up. Just take some time out here to relax. Towards some back bends now. So take your time bringing the soles of the feet up to the mat. The feet are hip width apart and the outer edges of the feet run parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Palms face down. As you inhale, you're going to press the feet into the mat, nice and strong. Lift the pelvis up off the floor. Roll the shoulders under the back, interlace your fingers, straighten the arms and press them down towards the earth. Make sure you're anchoring down through the root of the big toe, the outer edge of the heel. So really using the inner thighs, making sure the knees don't splay out to the side. So this will really support and protect your lower back. When you're ready, undo your fingers, remove your shoulders and roll the spine down onto the mat, nice and slowly. Feel each vertebrae connect to the earth. When you're ready again, press your feet, lift your hips, roll the shoulders under the back and interlace your fingers. So again, anchoring down through the root of the big toe, outer edge of the heel. Making sure the knees don't splay out to the side, so really using the inner thighs and using the strength of the legs to lift the hips up nice and high, really getting into the spine. Make sure you're breathing here. When you're ready, undoing the fingers, removing the shoulders, rolling the spine down onto the mat. Take a breath. And then again, when you're ready, press your feet, lift your hips, roll the shoulders under the back and interlace your fingers. Straighten the arms, press them into the mat. Really using the strength of the legs here. You're going to lift that left leg up into the sky and point the left toes. So really pressing down through that right foot to lift up through the hips. Make sure you're breathing. Keep relaxed through the neck. Bring the left foot down onto the mat. And then inhale, right leg will extend up. Point the right toes. Really press that left foot into the mat to lift the hips up nice and high. Keep using the inner thighs here. Make sure you're breathing. When you're ready, right foot will also come down to the mat nice and lightly. Press your feet, lift your hips. Couple of breaths. When you're ready, undo your fingers, remove your shoulders, and slowly roll the spine down onto the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together, let the knees drop out wide. Take the arms out beside the body, palms face up. Just take a few resting breaths here. There's the option to just stay here resting, or you can just do exactly what we just did, the modified back bend, or if you feel like you're ready, if you normally do full Urdhva full back bends in your practice, you're more than welcome to join me for the next back bend. Take your time, don't push yourself. Move with your own breath. As you bring the feet onto the mat, again, about hip width apart. Take the hands next to the ears, fingertips face towards the shoulders. Keep the elbows in. The inhalation brings you up. Really use the strength of the legs here, so make sure you're anchoring through the root of the big toe. Slightly tuck under through the pelvis. Engage Mula Bandha. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Couple more breaths here. Nice and slowly come down. Bring the chin to the chest. Slowly, slowly, all the way down to the mat. You can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out wide here. Or your other option is to just extend the legs out to the full length of the mat. I like to do this. And just make sure the feet are to the full width of the mat. Arms are out beside the body, palms face up. And just shut the eyes down here. So just allow sensation to move through the body. Allow the body to become heavy. And really stay still here. So there's this repatterning that occurs in the body-mind. When we practice yoga, we move our body and our mind into places we've never been before. This really stretches our capacity. It stretches our capacity on the mat and also off the mat. Well, when we stretch our capacity, you never really go back to what you were before. There's this constant growth, this constant change, this constant evolution through the practice of yoga. So we're going to take at least another 10 breaths here. And just observe the breath moving in and out of the body. Keep the body relaxed and keep the body still. and then pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a squeeze. If it feels right, you can gently rock from side to side, massaging the spine. We're going to come into happy baby, so soles of the feet point up towards the sky. Take the outer edges of your feet, or your ankles if you can't quite reach. Take the knees as wide as they can go, and keep the lower back on the mat. You can slightly tuck the chin to lengthen through the back of the neck, and take deep breaths down to the belly.
And it has been going on for as long as humankind has existed.
Just a couple of more breaths here.
Planet Earth.
Deep, conscious breaths. Again, pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Rock yourself up to sit. And gently come into a forward fold. So bend your knees as much as you like here. This posture is more about neutralizing the spine than stretching the hamstrings. We'll come into that next. So really squeeze the belly into the thighs, but keep the neck and the shoulders soft. With the belly pressed up against the thighs, you can move the breath into the back body, really getting into that area through the spine where you might be able to feel a sensation after the back bend.
What is this war? It is a battle for our minds.
Long, deep breaths here. Option to stay here. If you feel like you want to wriggle the bum back or press the heels away from the sitting bones, you can lengthen a little bit more through the hamstrings now. It's good to keep the belly on the thighs, just so that you're not taking it into the lower back. Move the breath into the back body. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen the spine, lift up, then exhale to release. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inner side of your left thigh. As you inhale, reach the arms up. Then exhale to fold forward. Really stretch the spine forward. So you really want to lengthen the spine up away from the pelvis. I like to keep my joints soft in these postures, so you're not taking it in the lower back. So bend that left knee as much as you need to. Keep gazing at the left big toe. Deep conscious breaths. Each time you inhale, you can really lengthen the spine away from the pelvis. This will allow you to fold in a little bit deeper. Again, practicing that balance between effort and surrender, between soft and strong, between masculine and feminine. As you inhale, lengthen the spine forward, look forward. Then exhale to release. Extend the left leg out in front. And then bring the right leg in. So sole of the right foot connects to the inner side of the left thigh. As you inhale, reach the arms up, stretch the spine. And then really reach forward. You can either just take the hands down next to the leg, or you can take the foot. Whatever works better for you. Again, inhale, lengthen the spine up and out of the pelvis, and then exhale, fold on in. Keep the neck an extension of the spine. Gazing at the big toe. Moving the breath right deep down into the belly, maybe even down into the base of the posture. Just a couple more breaths here. As you inhale, lift up, and then exhale, release. Extend the legs out in front. Taking the legs wide. So if you have quite tight hamstrings here, you can just bend the knees. I like to bend the knees anyway in this posture. Reach behind, grab your butt cheeks, pull them out from behind you. This will give you a nice tilt of the pelvis. You can either sit up nice and straight or take the hands in front. An option to just stay on the hands. Otherwise you can come down to the forearms.
Upon the earth, aim to artificially
Again, keep the neck an extension of the spine. The head's really heavy, so if we just let that hang and it starts to pull on the back of the neck, this may not feel so great tomorrow. Take deep, long breaths here. Deep, long breaths down to the belly. Again, maybe even moving that breath down into the base of the posture, down into the legs. We can visualize this breath work moving down to the legs. Eventually we start to feel it on a physical level. Option to keep the knees bent. If you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper or you're fairly flexible through the hamstrings, you can press the heels away from the sitting bones. This will allow you to come a little bit deeper into the posture, but no pushing, no straining. If you like, you can stack the fists on top of each other and allow the head to rest down onto the fists. But again, option to just stay on the hands as well. The hamstrings take a long time to lengthen, and so you want to be gentle with them. If you hurt your hamstrings, they take a long time to heal, especially if we tear them. With awareness, start to lift yourself up, come back up to your hands. Be really mindful as you start to bring the legs together, and bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to take each hand and take an outer edge of each foot. Lift yourself up to balance, and so here you do want to use your bandhas, pulling up through the pelvic floor, drawing in below the navel, really lifting up and out of the lower back. The first stage here is just to find your balance. You might just be hanging out here for a little while. Once you feel solid with your balance, take the soles of the feet and face them forward. Keep those bandhas on, keep lifting up and out of the lower back. The neck and the shoulders are soft. Option to stay here with bent knees. Again, if the hamstrings feel nice and open today, you can point the toes, really lift the chest and take your gaze up. Make sure you're breathing here, lifting up and out of the lower back, really floating the heart. With control, we're going to come out the same way that we came in. Bend the knees, soles of the feet face forward. Then bring the soles of the feet together, find your balance. Then place the feet down onto the earth. You can open the pads of the feet out like a book, keep the elbows in. Pull on the feet as you press the knees down towards the earth. Really lift the spine up and out of the pelvis. You can either stay seated up straight or you can lean forward a little bit. Or you can extend your arms out in front. Taking a few breaths here. Breathing down into the belly, maybe even down into the lower abdomen or even down into the legs. Over time, you might be able to soften a little deeper into the posture just by relaxing. You can also support the head by creating fists with your hands, stacking them, and then resting your forehead on the top. Lift your spine. Again, take the feet, open the pads of the feet out like a book. Draw the elbows in, pull up through the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, draw in below the navel, Uddiyana Bandha, and bring your chin to your chest, Jalandhara Bandha. This is Tri Bandha. When you're ready, extend your legs. You're going to take that right leg up and over the outer edge of the left knee, and then hug yourself into that right leg. Take your right hand behind the back, really lift the spine, lengthen, create space between the vertebrae. Then you can look over that right shoulder, so coming into a full twist. Keep that left foot activated, toes point up towards the sky. If you feel like you want to go a little deeper, you can hook that left arm to the outer edge of the right knee, kind of use it as leverage. Next option is to bind. Taking that left leg under the right knee, right hand will come behind the back, left hand will take the right wrist eventually. Keep anchoring down through the right sitting bone. Take deep breaths. As you exhale, you can gently release from the posture. Take your gaze forward, unravel the spine slowly, then extend the right leg out in front. Other side, left foot up and over to the outer edge of the right knee. Hug yourself into that left leg. Take the left hand behind the back, really lift the spine by pressing the sitting bones into the mat. Looking over that back shoulder. Again, option to stay here. Keep that right foot engaged, right toes point up towards the sky. Then option to hook that right arm to the outer edge of the left knee. Keep the left sitting bone on the mat. And then again, option to bind. Each time you inhale, really press the seat into the mat to lift your spine. Create space between the vertebrae, so as you exhale, squeeze the belly in. Twist a little deeper. Be gentle with the spine. As you exhale, gently release from the posture. Unravel the spine really slowly. Take the gaze forward. Extend the left leg forward. Lift your spine. Extend your arms out in front and use your core. Nice and slowly, roll the spine down onto the mat. Pause just for a little. Last little bit of core. Really prepping you for Shavasana, final posture. Nice and slowly come all the way down to the mat. Turn your palms so they face up. And take the feet out at least to the full width of the mat. Make any adjustments that you need to make here so you can become really still in this posture. Shavasana translates to corpse pose. And so we want to keep the body really still. So the integration of the mind and the body, everything that we've done, starts to take place on a cellular level. Take your awareness into your feet. Feel where the back of the heels connect with the earth. Allow the feet to soften, soles of the feet right to the tips of the toes. Allow the calf muscles to relax, the knees to release, and feel the quadriceps relax away from the bone. Take your awareness into your glutes, your sacrum and your lower back, and allow that full area to release. Feel where the shoulder blades, the scapula, connect with the earth, and allow that full upper back area to relax. Shoulders are relaxed. Arms are heavy. Feel where the back of the arms connect with the earth. Soften the neck. Feel where the back of the head connects to the earth. And allow the facial muscles to soften. The forehead is relaxed, allowing the brain, the mind to also relax. You can feel the eyes fall deep down into the eye sockets. The lips are soft. The tongue is also relaxed. Just allow yourself to be in this moment just for a few more breaths. Allow the breath to become your anchor. Allow the breath to be your anchor into this present moment. Witness and observe the rising and returning of the breath. Follow your exhalation. Continue to follow this exhalation into this vastness. If we continue to move into this space, what arises is this witnessing awareness. this deep sense of peace, contentment.